A president in Nigeria can decide not to talk to anyone for 1 year because he has hired some people. Obi says, and I'm sure Obi is trying to compare the presidential system of government we are running versus the parliamentary system of government where the president or the prime minister will be expected to come and talk to the parliament once in a while and participate in debate, answer questions without hiring anybody. And that is a very pure way of testing the intelligence of the prime minister or the president. But in Nigeria, because the president would have hired plenty personal assistants, plenty people supporting in various forms or the other, he can afford not to talk to Nigerians as long as he wants because people have been paid to do the talking. So it's just a ceremonial president moving around, and anytime he wants to talk, they will stereotype what he's going to say. Either they put it in a video, record it, edit it, or they type it and print it, edit it, and give him to read. And the system cannot grow that way. Let's dive into the details more to see Obi perspectives. Peter Gregory Obi is contender for the presidency of Nigeria in 2023 from the Labour Party, and a former governor of Anambra State has said that a president in Nigeria might choose to delegate speech writing for a year. This quote comes from an article that ran on Sarah Reporter's official X account. During a seminar in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, the former governor of Nigeria, Anambra State, made the statement. Oh, okay. So while outlining some of the benefits of a parliamentary rather than presidential form of government, Peter Obi made the remark. So in a parliamentary system of government, he added, the president may avoid communicating with Nigerians, okay, for a year, but he still has to answer to them. To those citing Peter Obi, said, I can escape any responsibility to the people if you choose me as a president or governor of Nigeria today. All I have to do is recruit a crew of crazy people to spew nonsense all the day long. In contrast, if the system in question is a parliamentary one, the president will be required to respond during question time. He is free to avoid employing a representative because he has appointed the people to do the talking. So the president of Nigeria can choose to ignore everyone for a year and no one will notice. They do this if you say anything, they say. Wow. So, and that is true anyway. The thing here is that, just like Buhari was there, he wasn't talking to anybody. He wasn't talking. If Buhari himself could not even participate effectively in presidential debate in 2015, he couldn't even, in fact, it was Yemi Oshibanjo that was going around with him to answer questions for him. And so we know, and after he got the presidency, he wasn't talking. He can only come once in a year during the, what do they call it? Independence anniversary, October 1st, and then we'll see a telecast, a pre-recorded and pre-edited videotape of the president talking to Nigerians, addressing Nigerians. No press review, no press conference, and nothing at all. No press interview of any kind. No question and answer session at all. No workshop, no seminar, nothing. Okay? And he did that for a whole 8 years and left. And then Tinubu came in. Tinubu also did not want to participate or refused to participate in presidential debate. And when he went to Chatham House for interview on how he is going to perform, he delegated almost all his roles to his entourage. He carried the people to go and speak for him. He can only talk in beer parlors and talk in parties and talk in, unofficial or informal settings where he can say what he likes. Okay, but when it is a formal setting, he will not say anything. And that is, we have seen that trend throughout these 8 years of Buhari and APC. And now we are beginning to also see the trend in Tinubu's government, APC as well. When Goodluck was there, at least he was talking. And when Obasanjo was there, that one is a master. So he was always talking to Nigerians. But that was because they choose to talk and they knew what to say and they were ready to say, but ready to speak. But in APC government, where we are always, voting in or putting in presidents that are old, incapacitated, and do not have the mental capacity again to run the affairs of the nation, they choose to employ robots to speak for them, human robots to speak for them. And that is actually not a very good one. And I'm sure that is where Obi is drawing this inspiration to say this, that the president of Nigeria, under this presidential system of government, can choose not to talk to Nigerians for a year and nothing will happen because he has employed people to speak for him, to write for him, to cast for him, to speak on his behalf. He will always send representatives to speak on their behalf, which is very bad. Okay, well, contrary or in contrast to the parliamentary system of government, where there's always a debate between the prime minister and the members of parliament, you cannot run away and you cannot ask somebody to speak for you. There must be question and answer session because that will be enshrined in the constitution and that will be part of the parliamentary process. You must come and talk. You will receive questions and answers. But I still tell you that if they run parliamentary system of government in Nigeria, it will not make sense because you know what? They are the same group of people. The prime minister, in that case, will bribe everybody at night. And everybody will just go there and say yes, and there will no proper question itself. Corruption in Nigeria is the worst. The only people that are practicing parliamentary system of government to the best of it is South Africa. South Africa, you cannot bribe them; they will come and blast the opposition. Okay, but in Nigeria, because of corruption, you can easily buy opposition to your side, and when you get there, it will just look at how the senators, conduct interview and assessment for ministers prior to commissioning. You see how they just call there, they say bow and go, no question, no intelligent question, no interview, nothing. And at the end of the day, when the president is also submitting some bills or submitting some budgetary documents or any document to the Senate for approval, you see how they treat it. It's like rubber stamp. They just read it and one person will adopt it and the next thing they approve without even calling the president to come and answer some questions. So it tell you that even the parliamentary system of government will not work in Nigeria because of the kind of leaders we have, the kind of politicians we have in Nigeria today. They are so corrupt that all they see is their interest and their benefit and what they can be paid. Once they are paid, their conscience is sold and they can do anything. And that is actually a very bad one. So in the comment section, somebody saying on point always. Don't be lie. Obi is always on point. Obi is always on point. All right, so that is exactly what Peter Obi is saying, that in Nigeria, a president can choose not to talk to the people because he has hired human robots to speak for him because of the presidential system of government. But in parliamentary system of government, the president cannot avoid not talking to the people or not talking to the parliament. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.